Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming to Team Shadow Strike, and this is going to be a discussion video because I've had a lot of people asking me to do in the card talk sections of my episode segment card talk to talk about the Blaster Dark Diablo, Venom Blaster Diablo Abyss, and all that. And you know, I decided instead of doing one episode for each of them that I would just talk about the damn deck. So shout out, to anybody who asked for this. Let's just get. I'm gonna just kind of briefly talk about it. To be honest, guys, I'm kind of pissed because we are continuously getting shorthanded here in the English meta because Japan, for whatever reason, decides to not treat us as equals. And honestly, that kind of pisses me off. We're not getting the cool deck box. We're not getting the sleeves. And to me, that is a slap in the face. So to be real honest, I'm really not that happy about it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for some of the cards, but I haven't talked about it because I really didn't want this to come out. I'm really pissed. I'm sick and tired of the Japanese meta getting things that we don't. And it's just like they do. We love and support the game just as much as the Japanese do, and the fact that the Japanese meta gets things that we don't, I think, is unfair. And and some people might go, well, Jaden, that's not being fair. That's where it started. And it's like, you know what? If that's your opinion, fine. But that's my opinion. I think I think we should both get the same shit. I'm sorry. So anyway, I'm going to quit ranting about that. But anyway, it was recently released in Japan on April 24th, and it's going to not be released for us until June. So we have a whole nother month to wait for this bastard. But anyway, it's called the G Legend Deck 1, the Dark Ren Suzugamori. I'm going to get right into this, and I'm gonna do my best to not rant. But okay, here's what it comes with. It comes with a limited edition Ren Suzugamori storage box. We might get the storage box because when the Mega Trial deck came out for us, that it was supposed to be the Daigo Trial deck, but because again they hate us, we didn't get all the cool. We didn't get that. But anyway, we might get the box, and the box actually looked pretty cool, so I'm actually holding out for that. Japan will get the sleeves, we don't get the sleeves. They get a deck box, we don't get a deck box. They get a fighter counter, we don't get a fighter counter. We'll get the crappy paper playmat. We will get the one Dark Knight Grim Recruiter, and the official price down there was 3,500 yen, which is really close to $30. So for $30, you're basically going to get the deck. You might get a box, and that's about it. Now, the one thing about this that is nice is the cards. Every card that's in the trial deck will have a triple rare form. That is the one thing about this that makes it special. So basically, if the starting price is $30 here in America, which it should be, if you translate 3,500 yen over, it's like $29 and damn close to 30, so it should be about $30. Basically, if you drop $120, you can have an entire deck that's triple rare. So something to think about. So first off, obviously the one that we were really excited to find out about, that was Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablo. So I'm sure you guys know what these look like. I guess I'll read his ability in case there's someone who hasn't read it yet. His ability is Stride. Obviously, he's a G unit. Counterblast 1 and choose a face-down card named Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablo from your G zone. Turn it face up. If the number of face-up cards in your G zone is 2 or more until the end of turn, this unit gets plus 10,000 and plus 1 critical. And the ability, choose 3 of your rear guards and retire them. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent may choose 2 of his or her rear guards and retire them. If he or she does not retire 2 rear guards until the end of that battle, your opponent cannot call guards from their hand to the Guardian Circle. And honestly, my opinion of this card is, meh. Guys, in all honesty, in the late stage of the game, when he's going to come out, you're just not going to have an open board. You're not just going to have no cards on the field. The only way this guy's really going to hurt is if for whatever reason you have absolutely no rear guards on the field. Now, the one thing that is interesting is if basically two people who are using this deck ever go head-to-head, if you have a Marin on your board, you can sacrifice the Karen. If you sacrifice Karen because of your opponent's Phantom Blast or Diablo, that still counts as two sacrifices. So it's interesting in that regard, but in all honesty, I'm really not that. There are some people who are treating this card as like the second coming of God, and I'm sorry, Phantom Blaster Abyss is better, in my opinion. And Phantom Blaster Abyss, I mean, it's a good card, and it's had a lot of success, but like I've told you guys, the reason I've never built it is because I just don't like being limited and telling me the turn you Legion is the turn you must use me. But, I mean, it's good, and I'm glad for it, because I love the Phantom Blaster series, but I'm really... In all honesty, I wish it was just sack 3 and game plus 10k and a crit. You know, I mean, and it would have been better in my opinion, but I guess, you know, I mean, there are some people who are like furious over this card, and to be real honest, I'm not furious over it because I really don't. I mean, it's good, but it's just not oh my god good. I mean, Shadow Paladin is getting support in set 3. I assume they'll get G units in that. I'm assuming their G units in that will even outshine this. I mean, it is good. It is the best G unit that has ever been put into a trial deck, but it's good, but I just don't... I'm not as cuckoo over it as other people are. I do think it will find success in the meta. I do think it will be a solid tier 1.5 deck. I don't think it cracks tier 1 because it's going to be all over the place. So it's going to become very easy to figure out how to deal with this deck because it's going to be all over the place. But now, the next card that we're going to talk about is Blaster Dark Diablo. And Blaster Dark Diablo looks like that. His ability is Generation Break 2. While you are paying the cost for Stride, if a G unit with Blaster in its card name would Stride, cards in your hand get +3. So you basically, the second time you use Phantom Blaster Abyss or Phantom Blaster Diablo, you can discard anything in straight Stride. You can discard a grade 0, 1, 2, or 3, and it will get 3 added to the grade, and that will suffice for the cost. But it only works if you're wanting to Stride a Blaster unit. So it's kind of bad. So, I mean, Blaster Dark Diablo, he had so many like rumors of what he was going to be, and he turns out to not be that great. I mean, he's not bad. He's what you'd want to play if that's what you wanted to do. But to be real honest, his Generation Break kind of disappoints me. I was expecting something a little bit scarier. I mean, this is Ren, and all of it, and Ren is one of the big 3 from, I'd say, the first 4 seasons, and this doesn't seem that scary to me. Yeah, you can discard anything in Stride, but I'm sorry, by that stage of the game, it really shouldn't matter. Because games are going shorter and shorter now with Stride, so I really don't. I would much rather hit him of somehow gaining +5k and a crit. I think that would have been a better use for it. But then his other ability, his Heartbreak skill, or some call it Stride bonus. I'm sorry, I prefer Heartbreak. During your turn, when your unit named Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablo strides, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. You don't have to counterblast. But the downside here is if you stride anything else over Phantom Blast or over Blaster Dark Diablo, he does absolutely nothing. So Blaster Dark Diablo is pretty much only going to be used in this trial deck. So unless he's good, but he's not all that it's cracked up to be. So, let's see. What other cards deserve talking about? The Dorant, in Terse Fighting, Knight Dorant, the G-Break 1 card. He's pretty good. Generation Break 1. During your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Blaster in its card name, this unit gets +2k, so he swings for 11. And when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if this unit is being boosted by a unit with Claudus in its card name, which you're going to be using the grade 1 Claudus out of this, choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So it gives you a way to unflip if he hits the Vanguard. So that's nice, because... and then, let's see, what else? Oh, here we go. This one deserves to talk about. Dark Knight Maiden Matcha. My phone will pull it up. She looks like that. And then her ability, Generation Break 1. Counterblast 1 when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If this unit is boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for a grade 1, call it to rear guard, and shuffle your deck. So, you might see a lot of Swordbreakers flying around. Speaking of it, if you have Swordbreaker Angels, keep in mind that card's price has risen a lot. I've talked to people who've seen it being sold between players for $25 and higher. So keep in mind, if you have your Swordbreakers, which thankfully I held onto my playset, do not trade them away for nothing. This is probably one of the best cards in the set, in my opinion. True Black Sage Charon, or Charon, I don't know how that's pronounced, but she acts as the searcher for Blaster Dark Diablo. When this unit is placed on rear guard, you may pay the cost. When this unit is placed on the rear guard, you may reveal a grade 3 from your hand. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 card with Blaster Dark in its card name, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, choose a card from your hand, and discard it. So it basically acts like all the Stride boosters, or the Stride Enabler grade 1s that do. And her ability that she's really useful for is when you are retiring your rear guards with the cost from one of your unit's ability, if you have a grade 3 or higher Vanguard with Blaster in its card name, you may treat this unit as 2 units. So this works out really well. So something to think about there. I mean, she's probably the best card out of this set, in my opinion, outside the G unit. Young Skull Witch Nemain, the perfect guard. She's not bad. She pretty much looks exactly the same. And her ability is really interesting. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle from your hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Vanguards that is being attacked, and that unit cannot be hit until the end of battle, so it's a perfect guard. Then if you have a card named Young Skull Witch Domain in your drop zone, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, and discard it. So it lets you kind of do a reverse Gojo. It lets you draw, and then it lets you discard. So that's cool. I don't know if that's going to be, in my opinion, when set 3 gets all their cards announced, I imagine Shadow Paladin will get a G perfect guard that lets you unflip damage. That's probably going to be the more popular one, but, and then Full Bow Brave, this is going to be the starter for the deck. Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1, put this unit into your soul, search your deck for up to 1 card with Blaster in its card name, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. That's not bad. Let's see, where is it? I think this is the one. Yeah, Howl Owl. This is the draw trigger that comes with it, and this is the one that they really needed. It is basically a Margot clone. You call it to a rear guard, then you can shove it in the soul and give plus 3k anywhere you want. And then the card that I'm really happy for is this, the heel trigger, Flat Bow. He is just so friggin' adorable. He does absolutely nothing except look cute. But that's pretty much it. I mean, this deck, it's definitely going to be good, so don't, take, my problems with it and make it seem like I'm saying it's going to be terrible, but to be real honest, guys, I'm still pissed that we're not getting everything Japan's getting. I'm sorry, I think the American meta puts, there's plenty of players that played in the American meta who dump lots of money into their game. I think it should be even on both sides, so that's kind of what my problem is, but I am happy that Shadow Paladin is going back to their original route, even though I better not hear Shadow Paladin players complain anymore because they're getting a lot of love, plus Set 3 coming out and one of the new cards that got announced for Set 3. But Shadow Paladin players, they're getting a lot of support. But still, I'm still pissed that we're not getting the deck box, the sleeves. I don't think that's fair. I just don't. And to be real honest, I'm probably at every major tournament, there's always one person who represents Bushy Road. I'll probably go up and ask them very nicely, look, why aren't we getting the deck box and the sleeves? How's that not? That's not fair. And it's not being rude. That's a fair question that I think we deserve an answer, and I have never found an answer to why we don't get it, but. So anyway, guys, there we go. This has been the discussion over the Legend trial deck for Ren Suzugamori. I'm really excited for this, just to see how much hype this gets. I'm going to definitely be building the deck, so you don't have to worry about that. You will see a deck profile on this, but I really just I'm kind of on the fence about it. I really don't think it's going to be the best Shadow Paladin deck once we see all the support for set 3. I might be wrong, but that's just what my gut feeling is telling me. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, leave some feedback down below. If you have a question or anything, you feel free to ask in the comments section below. Tell me, what do you think? Are you guys mad that they get the deck box and the sleeves and we don't? Do you think we get treated unfairly at a lot of times? Because I think we do. But maybe that's just me. But anyway, guys, so in the comment section below, please leave me some feedback. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up this video for me, and I will see you next time.